All right, welcome back to the Generation Z podcast. Today we're going to be discussing biohacking and more specifically our top three biohacks.
So if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, we do also have a YouTube channel that you can watch the discussion on if you'd prefer to do that. And if you don't know already, we also have an Instagram page where we basically just upload motivational sort of content and also just general self-development as well as these podcasts. So if you want to see that information, then definitely go over there and check out that channel as well as me and Marcus's personal channel if you're invested into it.
Sweet. So as I said, we're going to be discussing biohacking. So all biohacking is, for people that don't know, it sounds like really cool and scientific, but it's pretty simple. It's just like using anything, so any techniques, any products or lifestyle changes to basically improve your health, your well-being, and allow you to perform at your highest level. And when we speak about performing at your highest level, it's not like strictly gym performance. It's just like general, when you're doing work or something, you just switched on. Just
Yeah, just
basically
like,
becoming a better person overall.
yeah, exactly. Just like general well-being, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it's all about.
So yeah, we'll go through our top three. If you start looking online, there's literally like thousands of different types of like biohacking things. People
Hmm.
make a living off of it. There's like biohacking coaches who do like all these kind of
Really?
they do all these kind of like detox things, stuff like that. But the ones that we're going to go through are actually, I feel like they're not only got a lot of benefits to them, but they're actually fairly practical as well. Because
And easy, I'd
most
say
people
easy
aren't
as
gonna
well.
pay 30K for a detox coach and go on some detox diet for like 4 months.
No, exactly. Just listen to this podcast.
Exactly, mate. So we'll start off with number one though, which is fasting. So before we jump into this, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory, but this isn't us telling you to do this, not medical advice. It's just do it at your own risk. But yeah, so you got fasting. You got two types of fasting. So you got intermittent fasting, which is basically like you have a specified window in which you eat throughout the day. So let's say you're doing a 16 to 8 fast, it'd be 16 hours fasting, and then you got an 8 hour window to which you eat in. And then some
Yeah.
people take it a bit more extreme and they do 24, 48 hour or even 72-hour fast. So the reason for that is because they kind of claim that the longer you do a fast, the more noticeable the benefits are,
Mm.
which does kind of make sense. But obviously, because we're kind of taking this from a practical standpoint, we're not expecting people to do a 48-hour fast. So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Like, and intermittent fasting is commonly used a lot by people that obviously are into fitness because specifically to when you're like in a calorie deficit, people do intermittent fasting. So it just helps them in that fat loss journey. But we will also cover that. But also, if you're looking to fast for maybe longer than 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, it's like that's not what a lot of people do, but I think a lot of people do that for kind of spiritual reasons and like
Yeah,
religious reasons. So obviously you've
yeah,
got Ramadan, that's fasting basically over a decent amount of the day every day for I think it's 30 days, isn't it?
I
It's
think so.
Ramadan.
Yeah,
And a lot of people after that have kind of felt like better in themselves and they're just biochemistry is obviously just changed and it's improved their mood, it's helped them out just like afterwards and they feel kind of revitalized after that. But there's also on YouTube, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, there's also a guy called Connor Murphy, and I don't know how he actually did it, but he claims that he's done a 30-day fast
yeah.
where
To be
he
fair,
didn't
he
have,
live streamed the whole thing.
and he apparently live streamed the whole thing, which yeah, that must be a true tell that
Yeah,
it was actually legit. But yeah, he didn't eat food for 30 days, and I saw I think he recorded his first meal after that 30-day fast, and he just had a massive bowl of watermelon.
yeah.
Because obviously after that amount of time, your stomach not being
Yeah,
used to digesting any sort of food, he had to ease his stomach back into just processing food, which
yeah,
is crazy to me. I think that's quite
yeah.
cool.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, because if you are doing an extremely long fast like that, and then you just go back to normal eating, you can actually die from it, just
Yeah,
because your body
exactly.
just isn't used to digesting all that food.
Mm,
But yeah, we're just talking about intermittent fasting today. So kind of having a period, say 16 hours where you're fasting and 8 hours when you're eating. So we'll run through the benefits of it though. So as you've already kind of mentioned there, first benefit is obviously it does help with weight loss. Um, it's actually people always go, "Oh, should I intermittent fast to lose weight?" As if it's some kind of like magical thing.
mm.
All it literally is just pushing your pushing your calories back for the day. So instead of having
Delaying your first meal, isn't it,
yeah,
really?
it literally
Yeah.
is. So instead of having breakfast, say you fast till lunch, well, now you've just missed out that 500 calorie breakfast. That's 500 less calories you're eating throughout the day, which is why it helps with fat loss. So it's
Mm.
nothing special, but I mean, we both do it because we're
Hmm.
both going through a fat loss phase, and it definitely does help with that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also what I've sort of noticed when I've been intermittent fasting generally during this fat loss phase especially is just it's improved my cognitive functions. It's just
Yeah,
improved my like overall focus and energy levels. It sounds strange. It's like, right, you're not giving yourself any energy through food. So how can you have more energy when you're not giving yourself that energy? But I don't really know how to explain it. It's
I know what you
just
mean.
it's really odd. Like you have to obviously experience it and do it
Yeah,
first before you can kind of feel it. But when in the mornings, for me personally, because I've fasted, like I've stopped. Let's say I've stopped eating at 7:30, not 7:30, sorry, about 9:30. Let's say if I stop at 9:30 and I haven't consumed any food, I feel like I'm just like more alert in the mornings. I'm not like so sluggish from obviously digesting the food overnight. I'm just
yeah, I know
I
what you mean.
spring out of bed. I'm just like wide awake. I feel like I recover better also when I'm doing intermittent fasting.
I'll talk about recovery in a second as well, but yeah, definitely. Like, if anybody listening to this who has done intermittent fasting before on a diet, you do definitely feel that extra focus, specifically in the morning when you are still fasted. Like, if I wake up just now, I'll go for a stroll, come back, shower, sit down, do some work. When I'm doing that work in the morning, I do just feel like kind of more switched on.
Yeah,
Um,
just like
maybe because
like
it, I
like
was
that
just,
extra 5%, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
It's
it's
noticeable,
strange.
but it's not too much.
Exactly. But yeah, in terms of like recovery as well, you're talking about, obviously, at the end of the day, it does kind of come down to how much food you're consuming. Obviously, if you're doing intermittent fasting and just eating barely anything, then you aren't going to recover. But
Mm.
there, when you are fasting, you have what's it called? It's like autophagy or something like that.
Okay.
It's basically like a waste removal process happens. So
Yeah.
when you're fasting for long enough, you have like a waste removal process take place, and all of that just helps fight disease and inflammation.
Mm.
So the cells in your body just basically react by removing loads of waste, which can obviously
Mm.
remove inflammation and help you repair your body. And as well as that, you also get an extra release of HGH, which is human growth hormone, which again helps with cellular repair and reducing
Yeah.
inflammation. So there
And
we
also, I think what's important to understand is that, like, generally now in like this present time, are kind of, or looking back previously in like previous ancestors, like our stomachs, the stomachs that we have now in our bodies, they're not naturally built to digest the amount of food that we're
yeah,
eating on a daily basis. Like if you go back to like the hunter-gatherer times, or even like, well, obviously more recent than that, there hasn't been that opportunity to literally indulge in food like just around the corner, or get a takeaway,
well,
or
think even
go
like a
out
hundred
take.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Every like it essentially it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah,
And you think the more you eat, or the more protein you eat, or that sort of stuff, like the better like you'll recover. But sometimes if you're overfeeding yourself, that will actually, especially if you're eating a lot of meat, that actually increases muscle inflammation.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah.
So it's difficult. Like, obviously there's temptation everywhere you go now. As I said, there's Deliveroo, there's takeaway. You can literally order anything in like a split second. But you just got to remember that sometimes you don't actually need to eat the amount of food that you are actually eating and that you're
Yeah.
accustomed to. Like, sometimes take a step back and be like, do I really need this? Is this actually going to benefit me? Like,
Yeah,
just having a
literally.
bit of common
Like,
sense as well.
yeah, it's kind of a hard one to find a balance between, because obviously, like when you're bulking, so for example, me, I need just a lot of food to grow, just do so. That just requires me constantly eating.
Yeah,
And on those days, if you think about it, so I eat a meal, and then my digestive system's working for like 2 hours or whatever to digest it. It's just about finished. Then I'm eating another meal.
exactly.
It
It's
doesn't
just,
actually ever get a break,
yeah,
which is why when I am bulking, I make sure that on a rest day, I do fast to about midday or like 1 p.m. or something like that, just to even give my digestive system a break. Because if you are just constantly eating, like your body's not made for that.
yeah. It's
And
it's very tiring to eat. Like, I
yeah, just
swear.
constantly digest food, like it's
It's
not
just
good.
like, oh mate, another bowl of whatever. And it's just like, oh.
Exactly. But yeah, no, this is actually another benefit though. So if you are constantly eating and spiking your blood sugar levels, that leads to insulin resistance, which is obviously causes type 2 diabetes. So if you do have a period where you can get your insulin levels very low, which you can do by not eating, then you're going to break that resistance to insulin. So it can actually um, reduce the likeliness of getting type 2 diabetes. I'm not sure how effective it is at actually if you've already got diabetes and then reversing it. I don't know, but you can look into that.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to the next biohacking technique that we've got down here. And the next one is cold water therapy. So that's basically you either have a cold shower or an ice bath. Personally, I would never touch an ice bath, but a cold shower from time to time does help.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I mean, one of the main things it obviously does to help you in the mornings, especially, is just to wake you up. It's just to shock your system, get that like just alertness straight
Yeah,
away.
it's like the
Because obviously,
fight or flight mode kind of thing.
exactly, because obviously if you're putting yourself under a pretty cold shower compared to a
You
warm
can't
one,
be asleep in
exactly, a
there.
warm one is like very nice and relaxing. It's like you enjoy it and you
Yeah,
stay in there for kind of as long as possible. But with a cold shower and cold water therapy, it's definitely a great biohack. It
yeah,
personally, for me, I don't do it a lot. I don't do it like every day, but like maybe at the end of a hot shower, just to like shock your system for 30 seconds, giving that a try is gonna help you massively, I think.
yeah. So, I mean, I actually do them every day, and I have done for
Yeah,
about a year or so.
you're a bit of a cold shower freak, mate, aren't you?
Yeah,
Is that what?
genuinely, I can't have a hot shower in the morning anymore. If I just have a hot shower, I just feel a bit
What a
grim
freak.
after. I genuinely just feel no. So I'll have hot showers like whilst I'm washing myself, and then I have about a 2-3 minute cold shower after that in the morning.
God
Um,
mode
God moment.
coming
Yeah, no, I
out.
genuinely can't just have a hot one anymore. But
Yeah.
you were saying about like it wakes you up. It definitely does. Um, but I think it's a perfect way to start the day because it wakes you up, but it also improves your mood as well. So
Mm.
once you come out a cold shower, you'll have like a massive endorphin rush. Um,
Yeah.
it just I don't really know why it happens, but you just like,
Isn't
awake and alive
endorphin
kind of thing.
like natural energy? It's just, is
It's
that is,
like when people get like a runner's high or something, they start feeling
yeah,
happy whilst they're exercising.
kind of
That's
like
massive.
adrenaline
Yeah,
sort
like
of stuff. Yeah.
endorphins are released when you work out as well.
Yeah.
So you get a massive endorphin rush in the morning. So so you're in a good mood, plus you're nice and alert.
Hmm.
Perfect way to start the day, I'd say.
And also, as you said about starting the day off right, essentially what you're doing when you get into a cold shower is doing something that you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you're stepping out your comfort zone straight away. Let's say you wake up at 7, you're like at the start of the day, you've ticked something off the list that you didn't want to do, but you've done. And every time you step out your comfort zone, you're going to increase your confidence just because you're doing stuff that 99% of the population aren't doing. So that's obviously going to lead on, and it's going to positively impact your day in terms of
Yeah.
just being productive, because you're going to be like, right, I've done my cold shower, and now I've got to do this, and it's just going to keep going.
Yeah, that's a very good idea actually. It's those small wins. If you win the morning, win the rest of the day type of thing. But yeah, I mean, if you were to have a cold shower, do that. You get your morning routine done, do that. You get your work done, do that. It's just, it
Yeah,
all
exactly.
compounds, doesn't it?
Mm.
But another very important thing, because I know a lot of people listening to this will probably be into the gym as well, and you probably already know, but we'll go over it again, that cold showers or a cold bath does actually help with recovery from the gym. So cold water just reduces inflammation, but also increases blood flow in the muscles. I mean,
Mm.
when it increases blood flow, you probably think, oh, cold shower, all your veins constrict and tighten up, like surely blood flow gets worse. But yeah, so you get severe vasoconstriction, where it's like all your blood vessels tighten up, blood flow completely restricted. All the blood is basically like in your vital organs, just
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
survive.
Exactly.
But
That is exactly what goes on, isn't it?
yeah, but
Yeah.
then after that, when the body returns to normal temperature, then there's a big rush of blood back to all the tissues, back to all the muscles, which brings with it a lot of nutrients and minerals, which then improves vasoconstriction and recovery. So good recovery obviously means that you're going to be able to perform better in the gym. If you're performing better and your recovery is on point, you're going to get good results, aren't you?
100%. Because I swear the cold showers is obviously is the opposite of warm showers, in terms of warm showers give you muscle relaxation, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's muscle relaxation, but then cold showers obviously help with muscle recovery. So I think just doing both of those two
yeah,
is both good for. I wouldn't suggest doing a cold shower straight after the gym. I'd say a warm
nah,
shower after the gym to then obviously reduce the I don't know, guess fatigue in the muscle and relax the
yeah.
muscles after you've just put them through a decent session.
Yeah, because when you're at the gym and you're breaking down your muscles, you cause a bit of inflammation in the muscle. But that's what we call like good inflammation, if you can call it good. But
Yeah, I
basically,
guess.
yeah, all it means is just like that inflammation is necessary to cause muscle growth. So if you're having a cold shower after the gym, you're basically reducing that good inflammation when you actually want that inflammation there. So don't don't have a cold shower after the gym, and avoid any like anti-inflammatory supplements straight after the gym as well, is what I'd say. But
Mm.
yeah, the last little point on cold showers is actually it can improve your immune system, and also, well, your immune system is obviously linked to illness, so it reduces the chance of you being ill, which is pretty cool and well. So your immune system produces more anti-inflammatory substances, and your inflammation response to infections is lower, which obviously means that if you have both of those, then your body is going to be more resistant to illness, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So just be like a natural remedy for when you're ill, essentially, or
Yeah,
when you're not ill, just strengthening your immune system for, and then potentially when you do get ill, you may be ill for a lesser duration than if you didn't do a cold shower. So if you think about it like that, like you may not feel the positive effects of a cold shower straight after you've done it, but you can also think about it long term and be like, right,
yeah,
I'm essentially training my body and training my immune system to, obviously, for when an illness comes and you catch something, then it's going to be more alert and it will fight the illness more effectively.
yeah, exactly. And to be fair, I can actually speak from personal experience from this. I don't know if
Mm.
it's directly from the cold showers or what, but I used to get ill like all the time really easily, just with like general colds and stuff. since doing cold showers for like last year, I definitely haven't got as ill. But whether that's all down to cold showers, maybe it's partly down to cold showers, maybe it's not down to cold showers at all. Like obviously you
Oh,
can tell
yeah, it's definitely,
essentially.
yeah. I'm sure just your whole morning routine has just allowed you
That's
to be
true.
healthy,
Mm,
just more healthy in general. And obviously that all kind of combines with each other and it just makes a more functional body that you have.
yeah,
So,
that is true to be fair. But yeah, so that is point number two, or biohack number two is cold water therapy. And then biohack number three is going to be blue light blockers. So these are used to improve your sleep. So blue light blockers, they're just a pair of glasses that you wear in the evenings before bed.
mm,
So the reason I've put these in here is not only is sleep super important, not just for gym performance, recovery, all that kind of thing, but just general health. But I think our generation is absolutely fucked when it comes to sleeping because
yeah, I choose that 100%.
we have so many distractions when it comes to sleeping, but also we've grown up with them. So
Yeah.
think about, you could say, oh yeah, well, parents use their phone in bed as well, but they've only started doing that in the last, say, 10 years or so. Whereas we're going to
Mm,
go through our whole lives with all these distractions before bed, all this blue light in our face before bed,
yeah.
which is obviously going to give us poor sleep, which is going to affect our health a lot as well, as we'll go through in a
Mm.
second.
And I was just thinking also to do with like blue light in general. Obviously, blue light is artificial light that does just emit from whatever device you're on, regardless of you probably don't even know that you're being susceptible to blue light, but it kind you kind of got to question it and be like, if it is artificial light, then do these kind of tech companies do this on purpose? I was
I
thinking about it and I was just like, did they put this sort of technology in place in their products to make being on your device obviously more addictive? Because
well,
once you're kind of hooked onto a screen, like it's very hard for you to just switch it off and go to bed. Like your brain continues to function, and that blue light tends to have an effect on your brain function, like 1 hour, 2 hours before you even go to bed. So you
yeah,
could
I
think about
mean,
it like that.
it's not, so blue light itself isn't addictive. It's not
Okay.
the blue light that you get addicted to. Obviously, it's the like dopamine rush you get from social
From
media
social
or
media,
whatever.
yeah.
But it's literally just any digital device or light bulb basically is going to
Oh,
emit this
okay.
blue light. So yeah, it's not actually addictive, but it
Right.
is involved in addictive stuff, if you get what I mean. So like TV is kind of addictive and
Yeah.
that screen uses blue light, computers kind of addictive, uses blue light, same with your phone. So
Yeah. I wonder if they'll bring out products that don't have blue light in them in the
mm,
future. Instead of having to get blue light blockers, like you just get like a non-blue light device or whatever.
yeah, I
I'm not
mean,
sure. I'm
yeah,
just
so
chatting shit at this point.
I'll move on to that in a second actually. But I'll just want to explain quickly like what blue light is, how it works, and why you want to get rid of it, kind of thing.
Mm,
So before artificial light, obviously we just had the sun, and that would kind of dictate our circadian rhythm. So that's just our natural body clock. So nowadays we have loads of artificial light. We're using our phone before we go to bed. We're watching TV. We've got all the lights on, right? So our natural sleep and wake cycles are very easily messed up. Because you need to remember, like we've only had this in the last 100 years or so, and then specifically all the extra blue light from like TVs, phones, all
yeah.
that, so in like last 20 years or whatever. So the reason why we don't want blue light to go into our eyes before bed is because blue light prevents our natural sleep cycle as it suppresses melatonin. So
Mm,
melatonin is the hormone that makes you feel sleepy. So once the sun goes down, um, melatonin is released, you feel sleepy, you go to bed. Whereas if you're in bed, you go on your phone, your melatonin isn't being produced, so you don't feel sleepy, and then you can't get to sleep once you put your phone away. So
yeah. Yeah, you're still kind of wired in that sort of context, that you're wired into the blue light.
Yeah, and then also if you are getting blue light in your face before bed, your body's kind of thinking, I'm getting sunlight in my face. Let's boost alertness. Let's keep me awake because it's daytime kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it completely fucks your sleep cycle. And I've put just a few things that poor sleep can lead to. If you want to run through those, right?
So I think we did cover sleep, a whole podcast
We
on
have.
sleep, but yeah, we'll definitely do it again if you haven't listened to that one. But I would say a big one is weight gain. People would be like, oh, okay, how does poor sleep lead to weight gain? Well, indirectly it does, because obviously you're awake for longer. So you're more susceptible to feeling hungry. So say, for example, if you went to bed at 10:30 and you went to bed properly, you obviously wouldn't feel hungry, and you'd obviously get up the next day and then you'd feel hungry and then do whatever. But then if you're constantly looking at blue light and you're getting poor sleep and you're delaying your time that you go to bed, let's say 1, 2 a.m. the next day, so then you're only getting like 6 hours sleep, you're going to feel hungry for longer. So you're going to be more likely to indulge in just snacks just to keep you satisfied until you then go to bed. And obviously that adds up so much over the space
Yeah.
of like a month. If you're going to bed at 2 a.m. when really you should be going to bed at 11, I'm not saying that you should, but that's just generally what people do. That's 3 extra hours of you potentially having food.
Yeah.
So that's going to obviously increase your calorie intake daily, every day, and that's going to add up, and you're just going to be essentially piling on the pounds at that point.
Yeah. And it also, more importantly, I'd potentially say, is like it biologically triggers you to eat more food. So
Mm.
when you have poor sleep, you get higher stress levels, release
True.
hormones in you to more likely
Depression as
to
well.
eat. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like when you're hungover, you always crave like fatty foods. That's why you go get a fry up the next morning, kind of thing. It's like when you
Yeah.
have poor sleep, you just crave shitty food, which can easily lead to weight
Yeah,
gain.
that's very
And
true.
as you said there, depression, bad skin, you get spots,
Hmm.
heart disease, muscle loss, weak immune system, brain fog, low sex drive, and that's just a few of them. All right. So
So if you get anything out of this podcast, absolutely anything, it is get your sleep on point.
get your sleep on point. And this is what I mean. Like you want minimum 7, ideally 8 hours of sleep. And if you're getting up for work in the morning, so you have to get up for work at like 7 a.m. But a lot of people our age will use their phone in bed, might not go to bed until like 2 a.m. Something
Yeah.
like that. You're fucked.
I tell you what, I actually hate it when I get up for like work in the morning and I've just had a shit sleep.
Yeah,
Like, I think there's nothing worse.
no,
So just to help yourself, you might as well just switch your phone off at 10 and just attempt to just relax before then you go to bed, because as you said, the melatonin will be triggered and you'll be able to fall asleep easier. I
yeah,
think that's the key point.
yeah. Like, how nice would it be just to go to bed and just fall asleep?
Exactly. Yeah,
But
when you've had like a big day and you're just like, right, I need this rest because I know I'm going to be going again doing the same thing tomorrow. So I think it's
yeah.
definitely important.
So yeah, that's blue light blockers. So blue light blockers are a pair of glasses that you wear. There's loads of different types you can get. What I would say is don't get the like 20 quid ones off Amazon. I'll just put it out. I haven't actually got a pair of these yet, but I'm gonna buy
Neither.
one soon. Just because I
That's
think
what
they
I'm
really are
thinking.
useful.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking as well, definitely.
if you want a decent pair, I do think they're about 60 to 80 quid around there.
It's an
Uh,
investment in it at the end of the
yeah,
day.
literally, you're going to use them every night for years. But if not, and you really don't have the budget, the thing that I've done for like the last 2 years at least is use night shift mode on your iPhone. You can
Hmm.
schedule it to go off at like 7 p.m. I don't know how effective it is, but your screen will go all orange to prevent any blue light going to your face. You can also install an app on your phone. If you don't have an iPhone, you can probably download an app. You can also get stuff to put on your laptop to prevent blue light. Again, it'll be like a Chrome extension kind of thing. And then the final point would just be, don't use your phone in bed. Even if you have got night shift mode on, just don't use it, because it won't be fully effective.
Mm-hmm.
But that is point number 3. Blue light blockers improve your sleep. So I'll just run quickly through what we've been through. So we've got biohack number 1 is fasting. Then we've got biohack number 2 is cold water therapy, so cold showers or baths. Then biohack number 3 is blue light blockers to improve your sleep. But anything else to add, mate?
I think that's all good, mate. I think that was covered well.
Sweet, perfect. So yeah, if you did enjoy today's podcast, or if you're just new around here, then please do subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're listening on. We do also have a YouTube channel as well, if you prefer to watch the podcast, so you can go leave a little subscription on there, or if you are watching this one, drop it a like. And then we've also got our Instagram page, which will be in the description as well, and both me and Sam's Instagrams will be in there as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this podcast, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.